For decades, John Force has been one of the most recognizable names in drag racing. With 16 NHRA Funny Car Championships and more than 150 career wins, his legacy is unmatched. Fans have long associated him with speed, determination, and a fierce will to compete. But in recent months, a pressing question has been asked across the racing community. Why is John Force not racing anymore? The answer is both personal and serious. John Force was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury, TBI, after a frightening crash. Since then, he has been open about the struggles he faces daily. In his own words, Force admitted, "Maybe the head never gets well." This statement highlights the harsh reality of brain injuries. Unlike broken bones or pulled muscles, the brain does not always heal in a predictable way. Even with treatment and therapy, some effects can linger for years or even a lifetime. The crash that changed everything. John Force has survived many accidents over the course of his career, but the most recent incident had long-lasting consequences. During a high-speed run, his car suffered severe damage, leading to a violent crash. While he was fortunate to survive, the impact left him with a traumatic brain injury. In the immediate aftermath, Force pushed himself to stay positive, just as he always had in the racing world. But as weeks turned into months, it became clear that this injury was different. His speech, memory, and overall health were affected in ways that made returning to racing nearly impossible. The reality of living with a brain injury. Brain injuries are complex. They can cause headaches, memory loss, difficulty concentrating, and emotional struggles. For someone like John Force, whose career depended on split-second reactions at more than 300 miles per hour, even the smallest cognitive delay could be dangerous. Force himself recognized this. His statement, "Maybe the head never gets well," wasn't just about his own struggles. It was also a message about the seriousness of brain trauma. He understood that pushing himself back into the car could risk not only his life, but also the safety of others on the track. A legacy that doesn't depend on racing. Although John Force may no longer compete, his influence in the NHRA world is far from over. He has built one of the strongest teams in drag racing history, mentoring drivers like his daughter Brittany Force, who continues to carry the family name forward with championship success. John Force Racing remains a powerhouse in the sport, a direct reflection of his leadership and vision. Even if he is not behind the wheel, his fingerprints are everywhere, from the pit crews to the track strategies. The human side of a racing legend. Fans often see athletes as larger-than-life figures, but moments like this remind us that they are human too. John Force's honesty about his condition has sparked important conversations about health, safety, and life after sports. It takes courage for someone who has spent decades defying limits to admit that his body, and more importantly, his brain, can no longer take the same risks. In many ways, this decision is just as heroic as any of his championship wins. Conclusion. So, why is John Force not racing anymore? The answer lies in his diagnosis of a traumatic brain injury. Despite his determination, Force recognized that healing from such an injury is uncertain. As he put it, "Maybe the head never gets well." While fans may miss seeing him on the track, John Force's legacy is already cemented. He remains a champion, a mentor, and an icon of drag racing. And even though his racing days may be over, his story continues to inspire, showing that sometimes the toughest battles are fought off the track.